Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Happy Tuesday.
And this is State of Atlanta. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back, David.
Welcome back to Tuesday.
Good weekend? Good time?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I did, but it felt busy and productive, maybe. I don't know. You know how
like,
things feel like that no matter what, like.
Sounds like there may have been a cocktail or two involved if you don't remember what you did exactly.
Assuredly. It was evening at some point or another.
Well, my mom came over Sunday, so I started drinking at 9:30 to get ready for that. So
preparation's key, man. You got to be prepared when the mother comes over.
I mean, was it like screwdrivers and or Bloody Marys? Because that's fine.
No, Kim had asked to do barbecue for dinner, so I got up early and got the pork butt on the smoker. And I think that the state law in Georgia, you're not allowed to build a fire without a beer in your hand.
Sure. Yep.
So so I just was drinking some good old Miller Lights on early Sunday morning. But yeah, well, it was not a great week for the Panthers overall. Across all the sports, went 5-7.
We played football at least one time and won.
We won.
Exactly. Well, it could be 5-8 depending on how this baseball game goes. But yeah, I guess we won at football, so that takes it up 6. I'll put that in the final.
They did light it blue on Friday night,
even though the white team won.
it said Panthers win, and they lit it blue. It's a real thing.
And they train horned.
We're 1-0.
They certainly did train horn. I feel like that train horn was turned up again. I feel like it was louder than it was.
Yeah. That was talking about the spring game. That was a good electric atmosphere kind of time. I was surprised at how big of a turnout it was. They said it was just under 5,000, but I felt like it was more than that.
Yeah, definitely.
The pub crawl was fun, at least starting off at Woods Chapel.
I was gonna say we didn't really crawl very very much, but we did really show up at Woods Chapel. I feel like we took over their whole outside. So
yeah, that was good. I was running a little bit late, so when I got there, the place was just packed out with everybody in their blue and white. It was great. And then once you get talking to people, the urge to crawl or prowl or whatever you call it just kind of falls to the wayside. Like, I'll just get another drink here.
Yeah, it's easier that way.
I did try to stop off at Halfway Crooks for one drink before heading in, but they wanted me to go like around the outside or something to drink whatever and upstairs. So I was like, I'll just walk to the stadium. And of course, met up with somebody in the parking lot and drink a couple of his beer.
Nothing wrong, nice tailgate.
Mini tailgate. So yeah. It's a good time, but yeah, I was really surprised by how many people turned out and like the energy. It seemed like it was like everyone was really into it. It was like being at a game.
Yep.
I had a multi-minute wait to get in.
Oh, you had to wait? Yeah.
Weird.
I got there a bit later than I probably should have, so I did not have a wait. I pretty much walked straight through. And did they even like scan the ticket thing? I don't think they even looked at mine.
No, nobody scanned anything.
Yeah, so the RSVP was really for them to get a head count, but.
They were getting contact information from people, I swear.
Well, yeah, of course. So, with the size, they knew how many people were going to be there, yet they only had one concession stand open because it's the bane of our existence to have functional concession stands. I don't know why can we not figure that out.
Maybe they didn't expect that many people.
But they had they said they knew they had over 4,000 RSVPs.
Yeah, but
so then they took 80% of that as no show, right?
I guess so.
Also, they're bad at stuff, David. What do you want?
They did have a couple food trucks, right? I thought I saw at least 2 or 3, maybe.
There were some food trucks. Yeah.
Over there, back on the quote unquote visitor side. There
was one over across from the radio booth where Dave Cohen does that game day show, and I think there were 2 over by Pounce's Kids Club or Pouncetown or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, there were. You're
and
right.
then the Steakhouse Grill had 2 free beers for you.
I did get those, and I got me some
steal.
Some swanky new koozie.
Me too.
As well. So that was nice. Yeah, I think all in all, with the exception of the concession issue, it went pretty well. And actually, you mentioned the Pounce's Kids Club thing. They had like their pickup for the kids' little prize or whatever you call it, goodie bag. And like it was simple, it was basic, but they had one thing in there I thought was awesome. Is a little like like our old school tickets we had at the Georgia Dome, the big plastic hard ones for like the club area, is basically one of those with the kid's name printed on it and Pounce on it. It's free admission to all athletic events. I mean,
I didn't get one of those.
Oh, did you sign your kid up for Pounce's Kids Club?
Well, no, but I did get onto him with your idea of just sign me up, like especially this year it's free. It's free this year.
It's free this year, yeah.
Just sign me up.
And it's auto renew it, like it put the kid's age in there, and it's like stop it when they turn 18.
Even though it's free, charge me. I don't care. Like just whatever.
Exactly. And it's like, if they did charge me and I didn't want to do it one year, I'd be like too lazy to call and be like,
I'd be like, damn,
please do that $25 charge off. I don't want to.
It wouldn't even make me mad because I'd be like, oh man, that was my fault.
If they didn't even stop it at 18, if they just kept on going, I'd probably have my kid to be 60 years old and still in the Pounce's Kids Club just because I'm too lazy to turn off the charge.
Yeah.
See, this is a money making scheme for him, right? Not scheme. That sounds bad.
Whatever.
Money making plan,
I'm probably going to sign up my niece. She's still, I think, in the age group.
You just got to sign her up every year, dude. So
that sounds like too much work. I'll do it one time.
I signed up.
I don't even think I got a renewal letter. Like nothing saying like your kid's no longer a Pounce kid or whatever.
Yeah, I signed up my daughter like literally in the delivery room before we even got moved to a room after she was born. I logged on. I signed her up for Pounce's Kids Club, and I think that's the last time she was a member. I don't think I ever did it again because I never heard about signing back up again.
Yeah,
so they're just
at least send me an email
or just auto renew.
Yeah,
so
but
they're
auto
just preparing your kids for the future when they get removed from voter rolls. So
yes,
it's good for their spirit and their character. Get them used to it.
Oh boy!
How'd you guys? I want to go back to
dangerously close.
Dangerously close to political talk. I know we like to flirt.
Well, fortunately, nothing politically happened, or nothing that could come up politically happened today at all. So we have nothing to talk about on that subject. No. So we're good.
Nothing.
I kept everything positive.
State House Grill, though, did you guys enjoy like the mini renovation that they said they did? I don't know if you walked around it too much. You just got your beers and went. But
I don't think I've ever been in there any other time ever. So I wouldn't notice a difference. I just thought it was sort of weird no one was there. I thought there would be, with the number of people who were in the stadium, I would have thought there'd be more people hanging out there.
I think by the time you got there, people had already made their way into the stadium just to watch everything.
That could be true. You might be right. Yeah. That's the other thing I was sort of sad about. There was no view of any kind of no way to see the field at all. No way to see, anything. It's just sort of a dirt lot there you're looking at.
If you're upstairs, you have a better view, but with those stands that are put there, you really can't see. It's not a place you'd want to watch the game.
Yeah, they should throw another, 10 feet on there and just, put an elevator in or something.
There is an elevator.
I feel like
then throw another 10 feet on there and just let us up there and watch the game. That'd be rad. Yeah,
I think that would be cool if they could add a couple TV or monitors that just have views of the field so you can feel like you're there. I mean, I think it's a good spot to have the pregame tailgates and stuff like that for the Pack. I think that's great. I think TV-wise, I think those are the TVs that were in the stadium when the Olympics was here.
No, they weren't tube televisions.
No. Maybe when the Braves took over. I don't know. They could probably get some better ones. I mean, you can get cheap, $300 65-inch TVs now, right?
And if they would, one, open up concession stands and sell more food, and two, charges for the kids club, they would be rolling in the dough to afford new TVs.
Exactly.
You just sell a couple chicken sandwiches and you be in.
Just do a Pack fundraiser for the State House Grill, dude. Come on, get on.
We could do a GoFundMe.
I'd rather pay for the flags for the team than.
I like the space though. I will say they did a good job renovating it. It looked good inside.
Wait. Have they not gotten new flags yet?
Well, I think that kind of just fell to the wayside since there was no season, or they weren't doing that kind of stuff last year.
A season, so there's no new flags yet.
I doubt it.
Well, you guys are the ones that cared about it, so I would assume you'd know.
Well, they need to have flags.
They didn't
have flags.
No, they don't. Not last year.
Yeah, that was the problem. Is they didn't have flags.
We need to make it a restricted gift for Georgia State. you can just give towards that fund.
Flags.
Well, how about you just buy yourself a new TV, Ryan, and then you can donate your old TV to them.
That's true. That's a good idea.
I think promise, though. I think the PAC can kind of see what they can do, maybe improve it a little bit more.
Well, the PAC is really responsible for paying for the scholarships of the kids, not for the facilities type things. I mean, you can ask them all you want. They can relay the message, but it's different pocketbooks. I mean, I guess it's all the same pocketbook, but PAC is just for kids' scholarships. Speaking
of facilities, I know I like to jump around a whole lot, but have you guys driven by the Convocation Center lately?
It's got all the things up.
The frame it's a building. It looks like a building now.
Yeah, I think that the southwest corner is still the only part that's not completely like the steel beams are not all the way around, which I think that's going to be how they get the actual crane out of there so they can start building on the inside.
Well, and I think in the I want to call them mock-ups, but I don't think that's what it is. In the whatever they are,
renderings.
Yeah, and those pictures. And then their pictures they had. No, it looked like that was sort of the entryway, the like patio type entryway thing, and it looked like there was sort of a hole there in the frame anyway. So maybe that's on purpose.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's looking good. I'm just kind of like it's exciting to be able to drive by and see it. The stupid trees with their leaves make it harder now, but I'm like, all right, once they get these walls up, eventually it's gonna be like, I know things are happening, but I have to wait a year and a half to see anything.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They seem like they're booking it,
going pretty fast, but it's still not supposed to be ready until the next year's season, the 2022 season. So
yeah.
Right. I was seeing that all those trees on the north end seem like they're going to be blocking the window. So
can't have that.
I love trees, but not if they're going to block a view.
Yeah, if there's one thing in Atlanta you don't want to talk about is trees.
Let's not bring it up.
Don't say anything.
They can just tear them down when they want.
You could get into a political debate and survive that far faster than you could talk about tearing a tree down in Atlanta.
It was a big deal in Grant Park. Might still be a big deal in Grant Park for like a few years, though. They were trying to tear a bunch of trees down.
Oh yeah, it's everything that comes up in our little zoning meetings and whatnot is all about how many trees are going to be tore down for this house to be built and that. And it was like, still got plenty of trees, but don't want to get on that. The spring game itself, I was socializing so much that I didn't get to watch that much of the game. Did you guys get a chance to pay a lot of attention to it?
No. It was, you know what though? Like, I feel like that's probably why there were so many people there is because everyone just was like, we spent the last year not doing a whole lot, not socializing, and everybody got out there and said, man, we're just going to have a good time. And
great weather.
It was awesome weather, and like the spring game, the football that you see on the field doesn't have any bearing on anything that goes on. There's no way to figure out if they're any good or any bad or anything like that. So who cares? Let them play football, let them have their last practice, and let us have our drinks and social time. So
you're telling me that we're in a real game this season, we're not going to have Dan Ellington throwing a touchdown pass to Ulrich John?
No,
because that happened during the spring game.
Right. We got a flag too. What's up with that? Let it go.
Yeah, they didn't count the touchdown for that one. And apparently Coach Elliott afterwards said that he told Dan he was going to count the touchdown, count the score on the scoreboard, but it was a little underthrown and Ulrich had to work a little bit for it. So he decided to wipe it off the scoreboard.
Nice. Nice. Go coach.
But the white team beat the blue team 23-17. So I guess, Ryan, you were a little upset about that. The blue team lost.
I was, yeah. I'm super. I cried about it that night. Yeah. I don't even know who was it.
I think that was. I think Darren Granger was throwing for the blue team. Yeah. Oh no. McKelly Colasordo was throwing for the blue team, and missed a touchdown in the closing seconds of the game to I guess taking the lead. Yeah.
There was a touchdown right before that. It was like a bomb.
Yep.
They took the lead on. That was pretty. I saw that. One of the very few plays I saw. That was one.
I think it was a big play, but it was not for a touchdown. I think that they got close to the end zone and punched in. running the ball there. If you're talking about what I'm thinking you're talking about. But yeah.
I think so.
Everybody seemed happy. There were no injuries. That's all you can ask for.
It seemed electric.
Good stuff.
I like the way they did it this year versus the other years where they had this like playground style, pick your team. And they had their 2 captains for each team. They picked who they wanted, and then those teams played each other. And they had to mess around with that a little bit and have fun. Quad came in and played quarterback for both teams a couple of times, but for the most part, they let the backups do it. Coach Elliott said afterwards that he's so excited about this season because, like last year it was Quad, but this year he feels like he has legit backups that can come in if needed and with very little drop off. So he seemed really excited, but I mean, Coach Elliott always seems super excited. It's hard to tell when he's down. Yeah,
that's true. But there weren't any like glaring problems either, which is nice.
Right. Yeah, it was like, I mean, I keep going back to it, Ryan. It was a good social event. It was a good time to get out and see everybody and do everything. Would you want to keep it on Fridays based off of what we saw?
I was all right with it.
I liked it.
Didn't bother me none. Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucked because I feel like we probably all wanted to start a little earlier. It's probably good we didn't get to start a little earlier. So,
well, I think that if we had started a little bit earlier, we wouldn't necessarily have been like, all right, got to pound this before heading in. You maybe take it a little easy.
I don't know. Also I had my second vaccine shot on Thursday around like noonish, and I was fine all day. And then at night I started feeling like crap. And then the next day I went to like 2 meetings at work, and I told my boss, I was like, man, I'm laying down. I'm done. And I was like, I gotta get right for this game tonight.
this exhibition game that has no bearing whatsoever on the season.
Well, I gotta get right so I can have a couple drinks. So
someone at work said that it felt like they had drank a bottle of wine and woke up hungover, but they didn't get to drink any wine.
I don't know, man. This is like the sickest I've been, I feel like, for a long time.
Which I told them, I was like, well, you're missing out. I drank a bunch that night. So when I felt terrible, I didn't really know what it was.
Well, yeah, I got my shot the same day you did, Ryan, and then I went straight from the shot to the Battery to watch the Braves game. So there was some day drinking involved there. So when the vaccine crap started hitting me, it was a combination of that and that early onset hangover. And I'm like, I don't know which one is affecting me right now, but I don't like how I feel.
Yeah.
But once
it was no good.
By the time I got up in the morning on Friday, I was pretty good. So
that's good.
So what do you feel at the spring game? Do you think there's a battle for quarterback, or is it a done deal?
Done deal.
Unless something dramatic happens, I feel like this is Quad's team going into it. I think everybody knows that, and I'm not too worried about it. Maybe hopefully he does not struggle. We don't want to see any struggles, but maybe if he struggles, you see something change. But I cannot imagine there's any kind of quarterback controversy at all brewing, or even like the whole idea of playing multiple quarterbacks. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I just know that's a popular Panther topic.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the way that things ran, where McKelly and Darren were running opposite teams, and Quad came in and took a few snaps for both teams. It was kind of establishing, like rest your starter and let the other guys get some reps.
Man, Panther Talk always wants to retire our quarterback, though, like all the time. That's like all those guys talk about.
I think because McKelly came in with like so much like hype behind him, with being like the Gatorade Player of the Year and whatever it was in South Carolina and stuff. There was just a lot of hype around it, and then and he came in when we were between seasons where Quad had not looked exceptional in the few snaps he had taken that previous season. So you're like, all right, well, we have this awesome guy, and then Quad comes in and he's doing pretty good, and they're like, well, but what about this guy? What about this guy? And
well, no, when that was, I was even worried about that, because I was like, Quad didn't have any experience. I was actually pretty terrified that was the best we had that year, and then it turns out coach obviously sees things that we don't get to see. So it was nice to see what coach saw.
Yeah, because he doesn't allow
out last year
into his practices at all. So that's why he sees.
I'm just saying, like, I was worried. I'm glad I didn't have anything to worry about.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Quad does after a year of experience and more, classroom stuff and just practicing and training, and obviously coming off a high of a good season last year and then winning the bowl game, and it's such a big opening series to start the game, start the season with the 4 out of conference games. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the season big time, and Friday just took that up, several more notches. So
I want to know if he calls a game over North Carolina or Auburn like he did with Tennessee and right before. You don't remember that?
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he kind of called the Tennessee game a little bit before it happened.
Who, Quad did?
Not Quad. Ellington.
Ellington did?
Yeah, he made I don't remember. They played it on some reel. But Ellington made some comment about being able to take Tennessee. Quad follows the trend and picks one.
Well, hopefully all Quad talks about is the Army game.
That's a W, man. What are you talking about?
Well, that leads right into my next topic, the ESPN FPI rankings, which I don't know if they came out last Wednesday, but that's when I saw it on Wednesday. So put it down.
Is that different from the thing we talked about?
We talked about the Sunbelt East preview, and then this was the rankings for all 130 teams or whatever. So we got a score of 86, coming in 86th place out of 130 teams. But
did they do a mid-major ranking?
Yeah, they did. Shut up. Army came in at 96, so we're ranked ahead of Army based on ranking all 130 teams.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, they're pretty close. We're all both pretty far down, but it's kind of cool just to see that we should be the favored team going in and open the season at home. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a positive thing. It's fun.
And against a very established team, we should always be proud when we can beat somebody like Army or Navy or Air Force,
the military schools. Yeah, well, I mean, and we beat Army last time they were here 2 years ago, and that
amazing game,
horribly rainy game. It was cold and garbage throughout the whole thing. Hopefully, it's much nicer to start the season this way. But and then we're at Army up in West Point the following year. So
I know we're not a stats podcast, but I would have to assume this is the highest FPI ranking. Period.
I don't know, but I would assume the same. I feel like normally we're
100 teams.
When we stopped coming in the hundreds, that's when we started feeling pretty good about ourselves. Like, oh, cool. we're not the 120th team out of 128.
I did share this out and promise no stats, by the way. So you could not make me a liar. That'd be awesome.
I feel like we're in the 115 to 125 range years past.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. We were always just like the bottom dweller. I mean, bottom 10, like always.
When you crack 100,
when
you crack 100, you are climbing the ladder towards the top of that G5 mid-major non-existent poll that exists.
Exactly. So the interesting thing to me is we clock in 6th overall in the Sun Belt. Trash down south is behind us, just for reference. But if you look at some of the other conferences, we'd be the second best team in Conference USA.
Really?
Yeah. So
just number two.
Just number two, yeah. With UAB beats us out pretty significantly.
We should play UAB.
Every year.
Yes, I agree with that completely.
Yeah. What do you think about that, David? Should we play UAB?
Yes.
What about Charlotte? You think how do you feel about Charlotte?
Screw Charlotte. Charlotte sucks.
What? I thought it was Charlotte and UAB. Those were the two.
No,
it's always me that talks about Charlotte.
We're talking about our schedules for the several years going out. It's like we have this great schedule. We play in Army, North Carolina, Auburn, and Charlotte. The 49ers.
Yeah.
Whatever.
UAB Dragons or whatever they are. Are they Dragons?
Dragons way cooler than a number.
Yeah, but they've got like the weird dragon.
Now, right?
It's not that cool.
No, I like UAB. It just feels like a more appropriate. And they've been around a lot longer. Well, version 1 was around for a long time. And now
I was gonna say they've only been around for like 2 years, man.
Would you rather play UAB or Charlotte on a regular? If you get to pick
UAB.
one on a regular basis,
UAB.
It's not even a question.
UAB.
Yeah, exactly. And UAB or Birmingham's got some great breweries around there now. So it's
beer, man. There's beer everywhere now.
Well, as long as there's PBR, you don't care, right?
There's PBR and Guinness. I'm good. But the thing is, no, it's true though. Like everywhere you go, everyone figured out that like, hey, if we have a beer brewery, we're gonna do all right. So they changed the laws, and now they allow breweries everywhere. So there's good beer literally everywhere now.
But I'm going to call a brewery similar to a spring game. It's not necessarily about the beer, as it's not about the game. It's about the socializing, the hanging out. Because breweries are cool. They tend to have like large outdoor spaces and like similar kind of tailgate games with your cornhole or the ring toss and shit like that. And it's fun.
Love hanging out at Applebee's, David.
Raleigh was a really good away game.
I know, and they're getting rid of the Applebee's because of all these breweries, man. They're killing the Applebee's.
Killing the PBR
chain restaurants going to the wayside. Where am I going to get my riblets or whatever the hell they call their food?
It is riblets.
They cut off the part of the rib that no one actually wants to eat. Like that's what they give you with their.
It's weird.
Yeah, their weird sauce and everything.
NC State was a really good away game for like beer and breweries. They had
Raleigh's
there's like
awesome,
one
man.
street north south that had everything.
What was this?
And they had some kind of donut shop that was open at 2 a.m., which was also phenomenal after you've been drinking beer.
Raleigh is what he's talking about, David. There was a place called Something Greens that was like, it's like right up there by the stadium, I think. Nat Greens, right? Nat Greens?
I think it's Nat
right?
Greens.
It's one of those founding father type people. But anyway, there's a brewery there, and it's a really big space. And I'd go when I was up there for work. I went up there for trivia a bunch. It was awesome, man. All the beer was delicious. It was great.
All of a sudden now Ryan cares about the beer at a brewery. That took all of like 2.5 minutes.
I just like giving you shit, David.
Yeah, I've gathered.
You know what I just noticed, and David, you would scold me for this. I just realized we don't have an FCS team on our schedule this year.
I know for a fact I've said that on this show before.
I don't pay attention. I don't think anyone
this is the first season where we've had a or like an all FBS schedule.
It's a big boy schedule.
Hey, guys, I'm looking at the schedule and I don't see any FCS teams.
Yeah, it's all Division I teams this year, Ryan.
I just auto assume we have
David, you actually increased I made a stupid joke. Your joke was solid, man.
This is a question we've talked about before, but like I like the idea of not playing an FCS team. I like a schedule like this. You have 2 Power 5 teams, like a military service school, established kind of team like that, like a long history program that maybe isn't great, maybe isn't bad, but just an established team that's going to draw fans out to come see. And then you have Charlotte. Charlotte is our FCS team this year.
Oh boy. But I do agree with you. I think you get your two money game type things, and one of them is actually quite winnable this year, and every year they should be winnable. But it's not like we're playing Bama, which I'm fine with playing Bama. So.
Oh my god, I wish an Auburn fan was listening to this right now. Like you literally say, it's just
they're
Auburn.
terrible.
It's not Bama.
They're terrible. We just talked about it last week that we have a higher chance of winning against or losing against Louisiana.
According to that one guy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's I mean Auburn's not looking so hot right now. But like, we got two P5 teams and then 2, group of 5 teams that we should be competing with and like have a chance to go out and show out. And if we don't show out, we haven't exactly shown out lately anyway, so
I agree. There's no reason why we should not go into the season expecting a 2-2 start as worst case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a few steps back. Athletics years ago when they came up with the scheduling probably thought 1-3 or 2-2. Maybe if you steal 1-3, you get 3 wins out of it. And then also, man, that's a great payday a year after a pandemic. Who did this scheduling? I mean,
right. Well, and then also what we've talked about before is when this was set up, 4 or 5 years ago, looking at this season going ahead, it was like, well, maybe we can pull up an upset at UNC, and then Auburn's going to be our beatdown game. And now it's kind of like, get out of Chapel Hill alive. And we didn't know Mac Brown was going to be heading up to North Carolina. So, yeah, I like.
Turns out we win both.
What was that, Ryan?
Turns out we win both. You heard it here first.
Win both. Well, so after we beat Army, which is just going to happen, and then we shock the world by beating UNC, we have a little bit of a scare at Charlotte, or Charlotte coming here, and then all eyes are going to be on Georgia State at Auburn. And I say all eyes, I mean all of our eyes, but there'll be a lot of attention.
There will be at least 6 eyes on.
They will replay the Tennessee win in that ESPN game. I'm just saying ESPN. I don't even know if it's on TV, but.
Well, I mean, they're probably going to play the Tennessee. The Tennessee win will get mentioned quite a bit leading up to that UNC game and during the UNC game for sure.
And the Auburn, probably. We still get a lot of press on that. Like I said, I've got the Google alert for Georgia State football, and we still get we get mentioned all over the place randomly because of the Tennessee win.
Yeah, that Tennessee win is like Al Bundy winning that high school game. Like, we just will not let it go. We cling on to that Tennessee win. There's a mural inside of the touchdown club or whatever it's called inside the stadium. Like,
I mean, it's mostly people just kind of wanting to hedge against Tennessee a little bit. They want to be like, well, this game might not be what you think, because after all, Georgia State.
Yeah, why have we not put that Tennessee win up there on the big board right next to our bowl appearances?
Yeah,
we're on the other side, man. There's that big empty spot. Just throw it up there. Full board.
Don't give Charlie any ideas. He'll do it.
That side of the board needs a little love anyway.
And if he does do it,
playoff committee.
And if he does do it, we'd be like, we said that here. Look at it. We made it happen.
We made it happen. Hey, guys, if we really want it, we should start a GoFundMe.
We have like 15 GoFundMes going at this point.
I know. I thought that was kind of the thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it too far.
It's the ongoing joke. I will say, too, look at the schedule. Good Lord, after we finish the 4 games, we then start with App.
Yeah, exactly.
After you're done with that appetizer, here's App State. Have fun.
Yeah. I mean, thank God they're at home, but still, yeah, you're going to welcome in App after playing Auburn and just that entire 4-game stretch to begin with.
We never beat them, right?
This is the year we beat App. This is the year we beat Lafayette.
We should have beaten last year, but yeah.
And we are going to embarrass Coastal in their house just the way they did us and ours this past year.
So what was that, 55-0 or something?
51, I think.
Am I giving them a couple points? Yeah. I do that.
55-3.
Was it 50?
We didn't get 3 points.
We missed the field goal. We missed the field goal.
Yeah, we didn't score at all. I just want to give us
3 points.
3 is better than 0, man. 52-0, I think, right?
Something like that. Whatever. Mid-50s. Low 50s.
I know we already had the David dissect the schedule 8 times over podcast, but man, I like the alternating home and away. I mean, the schedule is fantastic all the way until that horrible away run, but all the way through October 30th, it's balanced.
It's not nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be, but I mean, it's got its faults to it. But yeah, it's not horrible. That stretch though, we have that 3-game stretch at Trash Down South. Wow, I pulled in the southern thing with that one. At Eagle Creek, at Lafayette, and at Beach Chickens.
Eagle Creek,
and then we have the Waterfalls at home.
Yeah, the Waterfalls at home.
That's their name now. It's Waterfalls.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't go chasing them. They'll come to you.
Now, I have high expectations for this season. Like, I really do think this is the year we at minimum, one of the two, Appalachian or Lafayette, we knock off one of those two this year for sure. Happening.
I'm going to say we beat 2 of the 3 top teams: Coastal, Lafayette, or App.
By the end of the season, Coastal will not be a top team in the Sun Belt.
Wow.
There's my hot take. They're going to come back to earth.
Dirty.
They're going to come back to earth. They're already playing in the toughest division in the conference.
In the Sun Belt.
In the G5, right?
Hey, well, that was our thing last week. Is they said this is the toughest division in all of G5 conferences. So,
but did they count the American as one division?
I guess
I just don't know what that says about everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you take that as a compliment for you or if you take that as everybody's just shitting on the other people.
I would think so, Tim, because we're 6th in Sun Belt, but if we were in the American based off these FPI rankings, we would be 8th out of their 11 teams. So and obviously those guys ahead of us in our conference would be right up there in the American. So yeah, I think that it's safe to say that
just merge the East, Sun East, and the American.
No. Let's just leave this crap conference that apparently is pretty good and go to the American where we want to be. And we can kick out East Carolina. We can do a trade. Do they do that? Do trade in college football? Can we
Isn't
negotiate?
East Carolina one of the only teams lower than us?
Yes.
There's
4.
It's the first team lower than us.
Yeah.
That would be a good trade. East Carolina to the Sun Belt, Georgia State to the American. I think everybody wins in this scenario.
I think the Sun Belt would be actually happy to get rid of us for the most part.
Okay. I don't really have any interest in making the Sun Belt happy.
Yeah. What do you think the Sun Belt? Why do you think they want to get rid of us? I think they probably love us.
The vibe I get from the other fan bases at
Coastal I don't care about those people.
Yeah, no, they don't want us, right? Just like the CAA didn't want us either.
Well, we don't fit the profile.
But we don't really want them either.
And when
CAA was really weird.
When you don't fit the profile, that's just not us having an issue with it. I mean, that it just contradicts everything that the conference is. Like, we don't belong in that conference. We make no sense. We're a research university. We're in an urban environment. Most of our students don't have barnyard fun times. So
barnyard fun times.
Only the one. Yeah. So yeah, if the Sun Belt wants to get rid of us, yeah, I think we need to get this trade going.
GoFundMe for that one.
I was waiting on somebody else to do it.
I was like, I can't do it every time.
So thank you, Tim.
You're welcome. That's the one we should do, though, as a joke.
Start a GoFundMe to pay for the exit fee and the entry fees of ECU to leave the American and Georgia State to leave Sunbelt and flip-flop.
And see what kind of weird donations you end up getting.
So you can get a unanimous, a school can be kicked out of a conference if it's unanimous. Every other school wants to kick them out, right? Isn't that how it works?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right. We start sending letters to the presidents of all the American Conference schools and be like, here's an idea we have. You kick out the Pirates, bring in the Panthers. See, we still fit in alphabetically, we still fit in the same spot. Panthers, just switch Panthers for Pirates.
And Sunbelt will take them.
Oh, for sure.
You don't even have to worry about a trade. Kick them out, Sunbelt will take them. No big deal. No big deal.
I like this idea.
So are we gonna I think we talked about it a little bit offline, but were you guys gonna talk about this little fish business?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at with the we would be the second best team in Conference USA. It's just something. So Tim and I were having this conversation offline when the FPI rankings came out.
Here, I existed. What are you talking about? I saw it. I talked about it a little.
Okay, so Ryan was there too.
Tim and I, chopped liver over here. I just brought it up.
Yeah, we were talking about. Okay, whatever. Who cares?
Fine.
So question for you guys. So we're apparently right now we are in the toughest division or the most top to bottom competitive division in the G5. Would you rather be in that where everybody beats up on each other every week, or would you rather be the number 1, number 2 team in your conference and you just play crappy schools every single week? Not everyone all at once.
Well, you and Tim were talking about it, so I was hoping maybe Tim would have something to say about it since you guys.
I'll go for let's be UCF. Let's be the big fish in the little pond. But if you're going to be the big fish, you got to pretty much win the football championship at least every other year and be a top team competitive in basketball and a top 2 or 3 team in baseball.
You've got to look out of place.
Right. UCF looked out of place in Conference USA.
But only there in the past few years. They kind of hit their stride and everything. I mean, I think of Boise State when they hit the national stage, they were just just destroying their conference opponents and then beating their out of conference, or at least competing very, very well in their out of conference. And I like that. That gets a lot of attention, I feel like. But when you're in a conference where, you win some, you lose some, because all teams are really pretty good, you kind of get lost in the shuffle. I think the answer is supposed to be the best. You've got to play the best. So you want to be in that competitive division, and you want to be that team that always wins in that competitive division.
So like an apple drop off.
I don't think it's enough just to beat a bunch of crappy teams, though, because you have like a lot of times when these teams like the reason Boise State got famous wasn't for being a bunch of Midwest Conference people or Mountain whatever, Midwest Conference, and UCF didn't beat a bunch of CUSA people. They did, but they also what am I doing? What are you guys doing?
Mountain West.
Whatever. It's close. We'll start a GoFundMe.
They also popped off a couple of teams they weren't supposed to, right? So they were, they had a couple of Tennessee type moments and things like that.
Well, that's what I was saying. They were, beating their out of conference opponents, the big out of conference opponents,
right?
Or at least looking really, really good in those games. Yes.
So it's not enough just to be beaten up on a bunch of little schools. And I think if we want to be, the big fish in a small pond, we just drop down to FCS.
Yeah, that would never work.
Exactly, but that's what you're promoting if you say that you want to be the big fish in a small pond. We'd be the biggest fish at this point. Let's drop down.
No,
we want that. I don't believe you want that. So
no, it's a good argument. I don't like that argument, but it's a good argument.
I want to be number 8, and I want to work my way up.
And to be fair, I'm not saying that I want us to go to Conference USA, because it does not make any sense for us to go to Conference USA anymore.
Yeah.
At one point when we were looking to move up, it made a lot of sense. And then with all the reshuffling of everything, it does not make any sense any longer. Right. But just that idea that you could just be beating everybody every single. Well, the history Dorothy has had of losing so many games, the idea of being in a conference where you beat everybody just sounds really nice. That's all it comes down to.
And we'd be number 2 behind UCF. Is that right? I mean,
UAB.
UAB.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Where's UCF? Are they not there?
They're the American.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I get confused about these things. I don't keep track of things that aren't Georgia State, guys.
Yeah. So it's interesting. If you look at UCF's history, they were there for 8 years in the glorious Conference USA. Championship game, they were in it 4 times. So 50% of the time they were there, they were in the championship. They only won it twice. Good enough to get them out of there.
Yep.
Well, and money and facilities and winning.
What if we would have started football? Equation. What if we would have started football around the same time that UCF started football? We'd be
right with them.
We should be.
Which is when they were talking about starting football for us too. That was a discussion, and our president at the time was like, "Not ever."
It is surprising to me that Patton was so anti-football, and the last thing he did was football. I'm out of here.
Drop the mic. Football.
You wanted it so bad, you can have it.
Yeah. It's true. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, UCF wasn't really taken seriously until they pretty much got to Conference USA, right?
I guess I
don't know.
They were in the MAC. No one cares about the MAC.
No, that's weird. What? Why would they? That doesn't make any sense.
And then they were in FCS land, right? All before that, they were actually Division III at one point. I mean, they have a long history. We have a short history, but we've ascended faster. We just need to keep up with our,
You know how like Oregon has the Nike money, and everyone, whenever you refer to Oregon, it's always like Nike money, whatever. Why doesn't UCF have Walt Disney money? Why doesn't Disney just like, all right, we're gonna like invest a bunch of money in this program, and you're gonna be the mice, the UCF.
And we're gonna make your helmets.
Yeah, they'll look like the Fantasia, the blue hat with the white stars on it.
They'll have ears on them. Ears on them.
Exactly.
We should have like Magic City money or something.
Magic City. Oh yeah, that would go over well.
Plus chicken wings staying in the stadium.
I'm all for some chicken wings in the stadium.
I would love some wings in the stadium. Plus, like local craft beers somewhere.
Why? I don't know why we've not done better at that. But again, hey, we're back at our concession sucking. I mean, I guess when they announced Panther Dining that was going to be handling everything, we knew like, well, this won't go well. And then they did get somebody else in there after that first season, right? Like it's not all Panther Dining now, right?
It's not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we're 46 minutes in, so let's.
And you wanted to do a deep dive, right?
Well, yeah, I'll talk about a little bit about baseball. I think we lost the baseball game. We were playing Tech. I think we lost that game, but baseball team, they won the series against Troy last weekend. Josh Smith had a grando in the fourth inning of the third game. It was a game we won 17-15, I think, in 10 innings. So we got a grand slam in that one. Tied it up in the eighth with 5 runs, and then a walk-off 2-run homer at the bottom of 10th. So that was it's a big 17-15. It's a big scoring game for baseball. That's cool. I like that kind of stuff. I like seeing high-scoring baseball games.
I think it's weird.
It's kind of a football score almost, you know?
Like a bad football score?
Like, yeah.
5 field goals for one team. Let's see. They played Georgia Tech today, lost that. So the game today was weird. I was watching it. We were up 2-1 after a 2-run homer by Josh Smith. And so we walked, we loaded the bases. We walked a guy to tie the game. And the very next batter, we balked to give them the lead. It was a bad inning. But
and it's bad when you balk to give the team.
The very next guy, because we just walked in a run, and then you balk and give everybody another base. Anyhow, now play at Mercer tomorrow, and then at USA this weekend. So they're doing in 2 weeks. They're doing a celebration of Coach Mike Hurst, who passed away on May 1st versus Coastal at 4:00 is the game. That'd be a cool game to go to. I don't know, Tim, do you think we're allowed to go back to a baseball game?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It'll just be us this time, though, right?
Yeah, this is going to be a big deal because they're doing events like at 1:30. They're doing a gathering at 2 p.m., like a celebration of life. 3 p.m., I don't know, something it's called Georgia State Baseball In and Out. I don't know, are we getting an In and Out in Atlanta or in Panthersville or something? I don't know.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
so I have no idea what that is.
Awesome.
And then doing a first pitch ceremony at 3:50 and game is at 4. I mean, obviously you got to get down there for the whole thing. You could tailgate for a good 3-4 hours before the game starts. May 1st. We'll talk about it next week. I think it'd be fun to go to.
Is there going to be In and Out? Is that what I heard? I wasn't paying attention.
Yes, there'll be In and Out.
All I heard was In and Out, and I'm intrigued.
But you got to RSVP for the game because, like Ryan said, they need to collect people's information. I'll have a link to the article about it where it has a link, which has a link to the RSVP thing if you want to go. Softball lost to Auburn last week and then went 1-2 against Coastal. Overall 14-23, 2-14 in conference. And
brisk.
Yeah, it's not good. They're at Kennesaw tomorrow and at Monroe this weekend. And then their season ends after next week. They're hosting the Trash Down South next week, and then softball season's over. So we're actually, I think, is that the team? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, no, right now Southern is just above us. So by playing them that last week, we have a chance to move up ahead of them in the conference standings. We're last place in conference right now.
In what sport?
Softball.
Wow.
Which is not soft whatsoever at all. Like
super hard.
Why don't they call it a big ball? Because the only difference is a bigger ball than a. I'm sure there's been plenty of comedy bits written about why a softball is called softball, but it really makes no sense at all. Like it should be like swole ball, or I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Easier to hit ball.
They do score a lot more. There's a lot more
easier to hit.
Softball. Yeah.
Bigger ball.
Beach volleyball, they ended their regular season with a couple more wins last week, beating Florida Gulf Coast and University of North Florida. So I finally figured out which conference beach volleyball plays in. It was there the entire time. Oh. The CCSA, or Coastal Collegiate Sports Association for short. Yes. So apparently that conference just does beach volleyball and swimming and diving.
All right. So we don't have swimming and diving though, do we?
No, we don't. But Southern does, and they're in the same conference because they've got that.
Okay.
That space is now a basketball practice court, right?
That is correct.
They filled in the pool, right? Yeah.
Or just filled it in, covered it. I mean, I guess you've got to do something. You can't just like put a basketball court.
They filled it with concrete, I'm sure. It's
a lot of concrete
flat.
Because they announced we were going to add women's swimming and diving as our extra sport to satisfy the Title IX stuff, and then RJ Hunter shows up, and we go to the tournament, and like we need a practice court, so get rid of that. But yeah, so we're in the CCSA. That championship is this weekend. It's one of 3 championships going on this weekend. Beach volleyball. So it's in Jacksonville. They've got blue and aqua brackets, and it looks like we're seated first in the blue bracket. So
all right, all blue, all in.
Yeah. Okay.
You put us in the right bracket.
I don't know what that means, man. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I read on the very, very underdeveloped CCSA website.
Do we know? I know it was a hot topic when it was happening because we got rid of track and all that stuff. But have we ever caught up with our Title IX requirements?
From what I understand, as long as you're exploring options, that satisfies the requirement. And so
we're exploring options, and we are satisfied.
We are exploring women's lacrosse, from what I understand.
Okay, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we would add women's lacrosse. I think that'd be great.
Is it something like you can explore something for a few years, and then if you're not sure, you just switch to explore something else continuously?
Yeah.
I heard by now we need to add something, right?
I heard lacrosse is a lot like soccer. My opinion of soccer, anyway, that the women are a lot more fun to watch because they're a lot more like elaborate with their play style. They're like more strategic, where like the men are a little more chaotic and like, there's less strategy. There's more just like, I'm going to kick it as far as I can that way, and then we're going to go after it. And if they get it, they get it. Or like women are like, I'm going to pass it to my teammate.
I get what you're saying, and I will say that I enjoy watching lacrosse, both men and women's, more than I like watching both men's and women's soccer. I prefer watching women's soccer. I prefer watching women's soccer way more than I like watching men's soccer.
No, I do too.
Men's and women's lacrosse, I like both of them. I like watching both of those.
But you like lacrosse better than soccer?
Women's soccer I like better than lacrosse.
Okay, all right, yeah. I think the women play a better sport with soccer for sure. It's a lot more fun to watch.
Women are more aggressive.
They're better at soccer, I think.
And women's soccer, there's just so less showboaty taking falls and everything.
Yeah, if they fall, like they get up, they're bloody and shit, and they're just like shake it off. They're like, this is whatever, man. Like this is a sport.
Yeah, I mean you get some of it still, but I like watching women's soccer a lot better. It's more entertaining to me.
You definitely
and like the women's national team is way better than the men's national team, so we do better. So I
like experience watching soccer. So
I like watching wins.
Yeah, no, watching women's soccer and then watching just the first United match this past weekend. Every time someone goes down, you're like, get up, you're fine. Stop throwing your hands on the ground and pouting. Like, get up.
Yeah, well,
you're not hurt.
As a coworker of mine,
man, like people are already running to the other side of the field, and you're just down there like throwing a fit. Like, get up and play the game.
It's hilarious and terrible.
As a buddy of mine I used to work with who played recreational rugby, he said like soccer is a gentleman's game played by hooligans, and rugby is a hooligans game played by gentlemen. It's like the soccer players are just a bunch of like whiny crybaby, throw a fit, jerky guys, whereas rugby guys are actually pretty like chill about everything. So
now, when they get injured, they keep playing. Actually,
oh yeah, for sure.
There is no injury.
They're just constantly injured. So
right, your arm is broken. You're still playing.
Is it on? Is it attached?
Doesn't matter. As long as it's not disconnected completely from your body, you're still in.
So you see, men's tennis ended. So men's tennis was doing so well. Like that was like the one thing that was getting us some wins. Like that and beach volleyball were our wins every week. Men's tennis on a 10-game win streak loses the last 2 games of the season.
Where at though? Are we home?
Middle Tennessee. I don't. Well, yeah, men's tennis at home. Who knows?
Like where's home? Yeah.
Yeah. Middle Tennessee and UNC Wilmington, both were losses of 2-4, but they have their the conference championship. We're hosting the conference championship in our Peachtree City Fields courts this weekend.
No.
So that's beach volleyball and men's tennis that have conference championship.
if they're clay or if they're grass or
They're not grass.
isn't that a thing in grass? One of the things that you can make a court out of.
Make court out of anything. If you're ballsy, you can make court out of anything.
I don't know. I just figured I knew like one maybe like 0.3 something about tennis, and I was trying to flex.
You got it. Clay and grass. You're good.
Is that it? Really?
Oh, there's like concrete. You can play on that.
You don't really play on grass, though, do you?
No, but I think
Wimbledon's played on grass.
No.
Boom.
Really?
Yes.
Like real grass?
Yes. Holy shit! You don't know this?
No, I've never in my entire life.
I watch tennis, so that's why I know.
I'm not gonna say like holy shit you didn't know it, because like I just threw it out there and hoped.
I thought you sounded stupid as usual. I was like,
yeah, like I didn't know it.
I've played tennis before.
That's like playing golf on cement. It doesn't make any sense.
It's definitely Wimbledon is grass, dude. It's
all right. Whatever.
Wow, that's crazy looking. It looks like it's like a tiny little football field.
I have issues with tennis.
Football field you don't watch.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
Women's tennis. So women's tennis, I wanted to have a little short conversation about, because I looked at our season was over. We played in the Sun Belt Championship last week, and we lost the very first game to Monroe, and we won 2 games. We went 2-19 the entire season in tennis, and both those wins were non-conference. So we went 0 games in conference, and I was like,
I don't like it.
That's horrible. That's
not acceptable.
Yeah. News alert. That's bad. And so I was like, well, have we always been bad? I've never paid a lot of attention to women's tennis. So I looked at, no, historically, at least the past 10 or so years, we've been good at women's tennis. We've been like really good. We were Sun Belt champions in 2014, 16, and 18. And 2014 was our first year in the conference. Prior to that, we were in 3 straight conference championship games. We won the CAA in 2009. So in 10 years, we were in 7 championship games, won 4 of them, made 4 NCAA tournament appearances, and beat Tennessee in the NCAA tournament one of those times. Like, our women's tennis team has been pretty good.
That's the original beat Tennessee right there.
Right?
What was that then?
Borderline dominant a little bit.
Yeah, it's just good. It's solid. It's a legitimate team. And
what
then
in
2019, assistant coach Alex Leitu, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She was promoted to a head coach. I don't know what happened to the former head coach, Jason Marshall, who does have a Wikipedia page that says nothing about Georgia State. And we went 11-13 that first season. And we went 5-8 last year, but it's a shortened season. But even then, we won 5 games. This year, we won 2. We won more games in a shortened season last year than we won this year. So I don't know what's going on with the women's tennis team, but I feel like, and I know that, obviously like those other Olympic sports don't get as much attention as your football and your basketball does. But if we're dominant in something, or we're good and we're competitive in something, I want us to always be good and competitive in that sport. So I don't know what's going on with women's tennis, but
didn't we have for the last few years of that, didn't we have somebody who was like really good, who was like dominant and was in a couple of tournaments and killing people? I forget her name.
A certain player that was
yeah. Which I would imagine in a lot of the sports where you have like a lot fewer players, like you get one dominant person and your whole program is just like killing it,
Maybe so, but I'm talking about this was over a course of 10 plus years.
Yeah, 9 to 10 years. You can't blame it on one player.
Or credit it all to one player. Exactly. So I don't know what's going on, but like, so obviously last year you kind of get a pass on 2020 because of the season getting short and everything. But I mean, is there a hot seat in women's tennis coaching? Like, is this something where Coach Charlie Cobb, not coach, but AD Charlie Cobb should really be like, hey,
I get Charlie Cobb and Sean Elliott confused all the time. All the time.
I always want to spell Sean Elliott's name Sean. I don't know why, but I hope
he doesn't watch this because, man, you're not invited back to Woods Chapel.
You will never do an interview.
No, I know that it's wrong. I just, when I go to type it, that's how I type it. And then I'm like, I know that's wrong. I know it's wrong. But I mean, should we how many years do we let a great program lose before you fire a coach or find someone?
I'm ready to go. Fire.
3.5 years.
Well, or so. One more season is what you're saying.
Yeah. All right.
One more season.
I mean, I think I remember back to men's golf being pretty dominant, and we're not anymore. I don't know.
No, we are not.
Might be time to rotate that one out.
Yeah. I just want to see all of our sports do well. Is it too much to ask for all of our sports to be winning every single year?
No.
Men's soccer, absolutely. We should be men's and women's soccer. We should.
With the attention that this city is putting towards soccer right now, there's no reason why Georgia State soccer should not be getting better.
Yeah. We should put effort into it. Money, even.
Capitalize on it. For sure.
We should get Atlanta United to put money into it and be like a feeder school.
I'm all for that.
And fix our field and take the sewn-in numbers and lines off.
Oh, and play inside of Center Park?
Yeah, we can be the alternate location where Mercedes-Benz is busy. Done. Open up those upper stands. Done.
I like it. Well, the only other sport we got is golf. Men had no games after winning the Wofford Invitational last Tuesday. Their championship is this weekend. So we have 3 conference championships this weekend we're playing in. And then women's was this past weekend, and they had their last match today, but they were 10th of 11 on Sunday and Monday. So I don't think that's going in our direction. So, but yeah, so that's all I got for this week, guys. How about you guys?
Well, that's all I got.
I figure we can talk about the concert at Center Park Stadium on last call.
Yeah.
Second concert ever.
And the best place to eat in every group of 5 town.
I saw, you sent that as well. I got that. Yeah, we'll talk about that in last call. Just FYI, our promo code this week is Pounce for free shipping on any of our Georgia State, or not Georgia State, our State of Atlanta merchandise.
What'd you do there? Why Pounce?
Because I put it to be part of the Pounce's Kids Club.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then did not mention it. Yeah. So, So merch.stateofatlanta.com for our evening School of Commerce and other stuff that we sell. We're going to do last call. We'll talk about this episode and the concert coming to Center Park Stadium and the best restaurant in Georgia State campus,
according to
Atlanta, whatever. And also, I was going to talk about one of the teams we played in basketball, Carver Bible College. Anyhow, we'll talk about it. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Me too.
Please consider joining our Patreon. It's only $3 a month. Helps us support the show and make it better. Hopefully, you get access to our private group chat, early access to last call, and we're gonna go over and do that now. So thanks everybody for listening.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.